incarcerated individual's use of institutional telephones constitutes consent, and your calls may be provided to law enforcement agencies. Thank you for using Securus.
Welcome, folks. It's Friday night, and it's time for the grand jury. The live stream that does the grand jury game show style. Each Friday night, we take 5 volunteers from the social media platform X. And we ask them to review use of force videos through the lens of a grand jury, the reasonable person standard we ask them to do. And they do. We have 5 new volunteers each week, and they volunteer to spend a Friday night with us so you can question their sanity. But while we do that, let's get them introduced. Let's meet our jury for tonight. I want to introduce Mrs. Ward. Now, she's a Kiwi. She's literally in New Zealand, but a big fan of the show, and we're happy to have you, Miss Ward. But what would you like to tell the world about yourself?
Hi, Joe. Thanks so much for having me. It's a real pleasure to be here. I'm really looking forward to the show. What can I tell you all about myself? I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and I'm a grandmother of 6 beautiful grandbabies. I live in New Zealand on a rural property about 40 kilometres north of our capital city. I have a few hobbies. I enjoy gardening. I've got a few animals, a big fat farm cat and a little Shih Tzu dog. So I enjoy different activities. I like doing jigsaw puzzles and obviously engaging with all my friends on X.
Now, when you say gardening, do you mean gardening like British style, where like you're working in the yard, or do you mean like growing vegetables?
I'm really talking about growing vegetables, although a lot of our property is native bush, so probably half, I would say, and we also have a lot of pine trees. So we do a lot of firewood here.
I feel like you're avoiding the question. What would you call your backyard?
Oh gosh, what would I call it? We've got one paddock with a goat in it, and pretty much the rest of it is forest.
Well played. You got me with paddock. I'm going to move on. Let's meet Jennifer. Now, Jennifer's from Texas. She's an Xer and a volunteer this week. Jennifer, how much do you want to reveal about yourself?
I don't really have a whole lot to reveal because I'm not super interesting, but I work in freight, import, exports. I have a dog, my grand dog, a couple grandkids. Just trying to be the best person I can and not do any harm. Other than that, I'm not very interesting. I'm so sorry.
You're very interesting. Don't cut yourself like that. Let's meet Chilko. I believe Chilko's in Idaho. Now, Chilko doesn't come to us directly from X. He is an import, as Jennifer might classify it, from our producer tonight, Bruce Wayne. But Chilko, what would you like to divulge to the public?
Oh, gosh. I'm a contractor, a musician. I like to snowboard. I like to rock hound and look for rocks and crystals. And just living the best life I can in Idaho. It's a great place to be.
Now, will this be the first time you've seen the show, or have you watched it before?
I watched one episode and it was riveting.
Very good. We have Gregory, who's a last-minute fill-in for Clives, who couldn't make it with us tonight. And I think he's having some technical issues, but we're not going to wait on him. We've got Bruce Wayne as our court clerk tonight, as any good court would have. AKA producer. He's going to keep us on time, and the bells and switches flipped and turned. Bruce, do you have time to talk, or are you in the middle of some technical issue right now? Do you want to introduce yourself?
I think we may have figured it out. He's got audio now, so Wayne on X.
We got a loop back feed there. I'll come back to you.
Gregory's mic is hot. Gregory's mic?
Okay, folks, let's mute up. Who's not there? All right. And also tonight we have our expert witnesses. We've got Jason, a retired 30-year veteran of Minnesota law enforcement, and he's also the developer of the 3D response school safety system. a remarkable system. We'll even talk about it a little bit later in the show, and we've got a video to show you on that. I've drank the Kool-Aid and been baptized in the water of the 3D Response School safety system, as far as it is the answer going forward to reduce these horrible incidences of a maniac going and doing damage and harm to our children. But Jason, anything I didn't say that you'd like to tell folks?
That kind of covers it. Just in my law enforcement career, patrol, school resource officer, undercover narcotics, SWAT, active shooter instructor, mental health team, investigations, kind of did the gauntlet in law enforcement. So this should be fun.
30 full years of law enforcement, the way I understand it.
30 years of complete joy.
Absolutely. Now we have Matty B in with us tonight. He comes in on occasion as an expert witness, and he is a retired ICE agent, federal law enforcement. He'll bring a unique perspective on some of these situations because the federal government sometimes looks at these cases slightly different than some states do. But Matty, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Retired ICE agent, so you either hate me or love me. There's really no in between with that bit. And now I'm a government contractor for the Department of Homeland Security, so they never got rid of me. Nor will you, Joe.
Well, there's something about taking the man out of something, but you can't take something out of the man. I think that may apply here. But we're glad to have you tonight, Matty, as an expert witness. Now let's get down to business.
Hey, Joe, I think you forgot Amber.
Did I forget Amber?
Yeah, you did.
Amber. Thank you, Jason. I'm so sorry. Gregory flew out of there and I just lost my mind, I guess. But folks, we do have Amber. And Amber, if you don't know, she's the AC Truth on X. She's pretty famous, at least regionally famous for sure. I know if you go into a space, she'll pack them in there because she's got outstanding points of view. And forgive me for overlooking you, Amber, but please introduce yourself.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Doing a podcast can be very, very difficult at times, trying to wrangle everyone together. So I'm a wife. I'm a mother of 2 boys. I'm a Georgia Master Gardener. I sing in the Georgia Symphony Orchestra chorus. We have chickens, a German Shepherd, 3 cats, and 2 tortoises. I'm a business owner and active in local government concerning crime that we deal with often. So I advocate for public safety and then also push back against property tax hikes and just, dysfunctional government in general. So I'm known to go to City Hall and to go to the commissioner's office and let my voice be heard. So politics is local. So that's something that we all need to participate in.
I think all I heard was the gospel there. I believe in everything that you said, but I want to ask you this. Your backyard, what do you refer to it as?
The jungle.
No one's playing my game now because the British people had tea in the garden, and they're really just talking about their backyard. When I think of garden, I think vegetables growing. But y'all both got me. Well played on both parts.
We have tomatoes, cucumbers, strawberries when they're in season. I've found a way to make them. I get strawberries twice a year because of a particular way you do it. Sometimes I'm able to do potatoes. I've got fig trees, a few peach trees, and a lemon lime tree.
Yes, no, that's what I would expect out of a garden. But like I say, there's especially British folks will say that their garden is the yard. They don't have, I don't know what they call a yard, but other than a garden. But let's get down to business. Let's do some real judgment tonight and be judgmental, folks. Folks, a grand jury is unlike a trial jury, which is a jury that you would see on most movies or television series. It's the one that we're probably most accustomed to. A 12-man jury, man and woman jury. They are to be convinced beyond a reasonable doubt. They can't ask questions. They can take notes, and they can't even discuss the case until released after instructions from the judge. This is how a real grand jury, a real trial jury works. But tonight we're mocking a grand jury. Grand juries are different. They're secret. You don't know who serves on them. You don't have a right to know. They serve in secret. A grand jury can be convened for very long periods of time, sometimes 3 months, 6 months, and longer in some locations, where one grand jury panel will be asked to hear multiple cases brought by the state inside that jurisdiction to determine whether they believe as citizens that the state has probable cause to continue with prosecution. So that's what we're asking tonight. And so unlike a regular jury, the level of convincing a regular jury needs is a trial jury. They need to be convinced beyond a reasonable doubt. That means you're going to go home, you're going to lay your head on your pillow, and you're going to sleep well about whatever decision you determined. A guilt or a not guilty decision is what you would deliver. In a grand jury's case, we're not asking you to be convinced that much. You're not going to see that much evidence. We're just asking for probable cause, which quite frankly is more likely than not a crime has occurred, and more likely than not the person accused is responsible or culpable somehow or another. Just more likely than not. We're not asking for a guilty. We're not asking for a not guilty. In tonight's cases, we will be looking at specifically at the use of force, not police procedure, not local laws, not any other violations of the law. We're looking to see would a reasonable person confronted with the same set of circumstances and facts known to the actor, in this case will be police officers, known to them up until the point they used force or deadly force, would a reasonable person believe that their life were in danger, or a third person's life was in danger, or yourself or a third person's life was in danger of serious bodily injury? They just have to believe it be. If they believe it be, then we ask that you decide with a no bill. And if you don't believe it's reasonable, we ask that you decide with a true bill. We'll go over the meanings of those in just a moment. I want to talk about the reasonable person standard, because this is the most difficult thing that we ask juries to do. We don't want you to decide on what you would do in a particular situation. People's life experiences, their professional experiences, the things that just the way people see things differently. This is not a standard that you could really judge others with. So to replace that, we ask that you use the reasonable person standard. We ask you to use the reasonable person standard to determine whether there's probable cause to believe that the force used was justified or not. The reasonable person standard is quite simply not the smartest guy in the room, not the dumbest guy in the room, just the average person, but it is a construct. It is hypothetical. It is not you. You take the information that you'll receive through video and testimony, and you'll put that together. And a good example of it is that if you walked up to the actor 5 minutes after it happened and they told you what happened and they said they were scared and you believe them, then that's pretty much how the standard should go. If you believe that they were scared, then they have the right to act on the fear if the fear was reasonable. We ask that a jurist tonight be objectively and only review the evidence presented. Don't bring in, if you've seen one of these videos before that's been edited, clipped, or people will add commentary to them, we ask that you don't decide on that just on the videos or what we ask you to do. Somebody's got an open mic. There we go. All right, tonight, the rules of the game are quite simple. It's 3 out of 5 votes wins the day. Unlike a trial jury where it needs a unanimous decision, we just need a majority decision. So 3 out of 5 wins the day. The jury may have 1 or 2 findings. True bill, I mentioned earlier, which really means formal charges, and we're going to send this to a trial. You'll also hear this referred to as an indictment. Someone was indicted by a grand jury. They received a true bill. The actual document that's presented to the grand jury formally is a bill. And if the bill is true, then it moves on. If it's not true, or it's a no bill. So if you believe that the force was used was unreasonable with the information that was available to you or should have been available to you as the actor at the time, then your decision tonight should be true bill. If you believe that the force was reasonable, that a reasonable person or a person with the information available to the actor at the time would have believed that their life was in danger, or a third person's life was in danger, or even of serious bodily injury, then you should return a no bill. All right, do we have any questions before we get to our first case? I'm going to take the silence as a no. Remember, in rehearsals, we told you guys that once we get done with the 3 phases, we got the first phase. You're about to experience the first one. and that's the presentation phase. We'll show you the video. We'll have an opportunity to go back and review the video upon your request and ask any questions of myself, Jason, or Maddie B. Once we get through the examination phase, the question phase, we're going to put you on the clock 10 minutes for deliberation. We're going to try to do this 6 times. So let's get started with the first one.
On February 9th, 2025, at approximately 10 a.m., the Sparks Police Department contacted the Reno Police Department to assist with attempting to locate and arrest Kupoa Kia. The Sparks Police Department was actively investigating a battery with a deadly weapon case, where Kupoa had battered a female with a firearm earlier that morning. The female had been transported to a local hospital with severe injuries. Additionally, Sparks PD informed us that Kupoa was still armed with a firearm and was homicidal and suicidal. Officers were checking the area of 9th and Montello when they spotted the vehicle associated with Kupoa. That vehicle then drove northbound on Sutro. Officers were able to catch up to the vehicle at Sutro and Wells and attempted to conduct a traffic stop. Kupoa did not stop and fled at a high rate of speed southbound on Sutro.
Taking off high rate of speed, going southbound on Sutro. Museum 274, we are continuing southbound, passing 9th. Light traffic. It's swerving in and out of multiple vehicles. It's continuing southbound, passing 6th. No, go. He's holding something out the window.
Looks like a phone.
Pull in behind him.
Back down. It looks like he's continuing eastbound on Mills. It'll lead through the parking lot.
Copy eastbound on Mills. It'll lead through the hospital parking lot.
Okay, now westbound Mill passing. We're down again.
Stay westbound on Mills. I'll take over radio. We are heading southbound on Kerman from Mill Street. Southbound Kerman from Mill.
240's got lead.
Heading eastbound Highland. 30 to 60. We are now heading westbound on Mill again. Doing circle. Come here, westbound on Mill. He's calling into the Renown emergency.
God, I don't love that this is right here. There's a lot of fucking people. Get ready. Nope.
Please come back around emergency.
Get ready. I got verbals. Keep your hands where I can see them. Keep your hands where I can see them, or else I will shoot you.
Tell him to come out or the dog will bite him.
Come out or the dog will bite you. Do you understand? Keep your hands where I can see them. Shots fired. Reno police, do not move. Reno police, do not move.
I see the gun. Where? It's right on his left hand, right on the. Oh! I need gloves. Alright. Careful. We just fucking locked it. I got you covered. Can we get the keys out? Here. Fucking fingers in the gun. Yep. It's in that right hand. Okay. Here's whose hands? Fucking. Okay, go on my side. Go on my side. Go. Get it up.
Come in and push up against the backside.
Get it done. Grab his hands. All right. So.
Your man, tucked up there.
Here. Someone hold this. I got it.
It was learned that the handgun officers located in Kapoa's hand was a 9mm Glock 17 with a 30-round extended magazine. On February 15, 2025, Kapoa was pronounced deceased. The Washoe County.
Okay, folks, there's your first case. I know it may say 3, but that's your first case. The call was this person was involved in a domestic battery case causing serious injury that required hospitalization. So they find him, they chase him, and this is how it ended. It ended with gunfire while he sat in his vehicle. The officer's testimony on this would say, or does say, that he had a firearm in his hand, and that when they asked to sit, let me see your hands, when the officer's giving commands of let me see your hands, that he raised that firearm up. I don't know that you can see it through the windshield, but that's what the officer's statement is at the time that they used deadly force. Any questions or any portions of this video we'd like to see again?
Joe, can we see the bit where the shooting actually began again, please?
You bet. Let's get that spot.
I'd like to hear the part where he says he's got a gun and see how fast that guy reacts to that and see if that was after that was said or before.
That's what I was interested in too. When they said he has a gun, the immediate response after that.
Okay, this should be about the time that they get him pinned in here. This is all going to happen pretty quick.
I got verbals. Keep your hands where I can see them. Keep your hands where I can see them, or else I will shoot you. Come out or the dog will bite you. Do you understand? Keep your hands where I can see them. Shots fired. Shots fired. Bite you. Do you understand? Keep your hands where I can see them. Shots fired. Shots fired.
One more time.
Bite you. Do you understand? Keep your hands where I can see them. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Okay, did that give you what you need, or you want more of that?
They saw the gun through the windshield. He didn't hold it out the window, right?
Correct. He brandished it
Okay, I
towards
just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything.
the claim is that he raised the firearm inside the passenger compartment of that vehicle facing forward, which would be counter with the point of view of the camera that we're watching, the body-worn camera we're watching from the officer there. But no, there was never no officer that I heard uttered he's got a gun. Now he did say, "Let me see your hands, or I'll shoot you," and then he shot him.
I believe I distinctly heard he's got a gun.
I heard that as well.
Let's go a little further.
I thought the female cop.
You're gonna. I'm sorry. Do you want to go back? Hear some of this again?
My computer even picked up on it, and it said it on the screen. He's got a gun.
Okay. I tell you what, I'm going to run this back to the shooting portion again. You guys listen with the best ears.
I got verbals. Keep your hands where I can see them. Keep your hands where I can see them, or else I will shoot you. Come out or the dog will bite you. Do you understand? Keep your hands where I can see them. Shots fired. Shots fired.
You know what? I didn't catch it the first time, but you do hear it's very low, but it's over the radio. An officer from another vantage point, I think, shot from the driver's side did say he's got a gun, but I think the first round is flying by that time.
Okay, I'm good. That was everything I wanted to confirm.
Any other questions, any other portions of the video we'd like to see again, or are we ready to go to deliberations?
I think I'm ready.
Bruce Wayne.
I'm ready.
Let's put a clock on him. There you go, folks. There's your verdict clock. You have 10 minutes. I'm going to go around and ask each one of you for just your initial assessment of the video, and then we'll do a vote, see where we're at. You know what? I want to start with Jennifer. Jennifer, what's your initial assessment of this?
He ran from the police. He put everybody's life in danger. He went to the most public space he could get to, and he had a gun. I think the police had to act the way they did. They could have ran him off the road. They didn't. They tried, I feel, for public safety the best they could do. But they clearly said he has a gun.
Okay. And let's don't forget, folks, there was a gun recovered in his lap. I mean, that is another aspect of this I don't think you can ignore, that there was a firearm recovered from this guy that was loaded. So you're leaning towards a no bill, it sounds like, Jennifer. Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the police handled it fantastic.
All right, let's get an Idaho perspective. Chilco, what's your initial assessment?
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty cut and dry there. Under the circumstances of the reckless driving, having the gun, and due to the fact that I did hear them say he's got a gun before they started to pull the trigger, I think that a reasonable person would have probable cause for the reaction.
So you think the force used was reasonable under the circumstances and conditions that you saw?
Yeah, definitely.
Very good. From New Zealand, Miss Ward.
I agree with the other jurors on this. Given the numbers of people around, it was high risk. I thought the cop was very brave, actually, standing behind his car door and then taking those shots. Yeah, I think it was cut and dry as well.
Very good. Amber, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he just left a crime where he hospitalized someone. He tore through multiple lights. He put a lot of people's lives in danger as he was swerving in and out. He pulled into an emergency room pull through. He was pinned in. And if you look at the timing, it seems as there's an officer to the side that saw the gun at the exact same time that the officer saw the gun that started to shoot. Because as you're hearing right after the dog comment, you hear very lightly, he's got a gun as the officer's shooting. So it seems like they were both on the same page and both saw the gun at the exact same time. And then they made sure there were multiple witnesses when they walked up to the car, and then handled the gun appropriately. So no one could say that that gun was placed there, or that, there was no way that there was a gun there, because multiple body cams would have seen the gun on the person's hand. And I believe you could hear silently that someone showed an example of how his finger was on the trigger while the gun was in his lap, if I heard that correctly. So I would be voting no bill.
I believe that actually was said, that one of the officers that looked into the window said there's a pistol on his lap and his fingers on the trigger.
I agree. I heard that too.
Gregory, what do you think, sir?
I believe that this guy made a lot of bad decisions leading up to being pinned by the police, and he didn't do himself any favors by how he responded when the police were giving him orders.
Okay. I tell you what we're going to do. Instead of beat the dead horse here, I'm going to go around. I'm going to ask you what your vote is: a true bill, which would be an indictment, or a no bill. This case ends as it is. It's justifiable. Jennifer, true bill or no bill?
No bill.
One no bill. Amber, true bill or no bill?
No bill.
Mrs. Ward from New Zealand.
No bill.
True bill. Oh, no bill. She's quick with it. Chilco, Idaho.
No bill.
And Gregory, you're still a no bill?
No bill.
All right, there we are. There's our first verdict. It is no bill, no formal charges, folks. That was your easy one. That's how we get you started. Let's go on to case number 2. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, we've got a minute. Well, actually, we got about 5 minutes. Let me go to Jason. I think maybe some law enforcement guys might have seen this on a different level than maybe some of you others did. But Jason, what did you see in that video aside from the basic shooting, which I think the jury got 100% correct?
They got it right. I think the pursuit could have been a little more aggressive. They had a couple of opportunities that I saw that they could have pitted him. I did not like the location of where the shooting went down. You gotta think about 5 steps ahead, and I don't know if they boxed them in that spot, but that was my biggest concern. Was going to the front of a hospital, an ER entrance is not an ideal spot for a felony stop at all. But the cops did what they needed to do. It happens quick. I understand why they did what they did, but I think if there was a little more experience on that scene, I would have said, not here. Let them keep rolling. Find the spot that works for us, not him.
Well, that's the second time he'd been to that lot. He'd gone through the emergency room, left, went down, did another turn, and came back. This was his second time in. But did you notice that we had the audio of the supervisor? She was on the phone because evidently this is going to be a city with a no pursuit policy, folks. It means that you just don't generally chase somebody because they run. Don't come to my jurisdiction and do that, because we will chase you just for that fact. But in some jurisdictions, they have policies. You heard the officer, the female, I would assume she's a supervisor, but she was calling it. She was relaying what was going on. She was given the traffic conditions. They talked about what the offense was, which met the criteria to pursue. She even gave the word to pit, but the officer couldn't get the pit before he got into the hospital parking lot. But I thought it was interesting, and honestly, I think these officers did a pretty good job. There was good communication. The female supervisor had control of that situation, even up to the point where she's on the radio with the one guy that's speaking, that he announced that I've got verbal, which is very good. I'm the guy that's speaking is what he's letting every other officer there know. But his supervisor, she ain't afraid to get on the radio and said, yeah, let him know we're going to send the dog, and the dog's going to bite his ass. Let him know that. So I thought it was a pretty good job. Maddie, do you have an assessment of that?
Yeah, my assessment was that was amazing. And to build off Mrs. Ward's point, where that pursuit ended up in that area with high visibility and a lot of people, the way the officers eliminated that threat immediately was outstanding. Because we've seen some videos where on occasion there's back and forth between the officer and the target that, ends up impacting it more negatively. But the way they removed the threat immediately was outstanding.
I thought they were very decisive. When he got to that point, they were decisive. They got it over with fast. Yeah, I thought it was a good job. Good job. Okay, guys, you've had your legs stretched. Let's try for something maybe a bit more challenging. Case number 2. And they may all say 3 tonight. For some reason, I missed that. But this is case number 2. This is in Detroit. You're seeing a patrol officer pull up into a parking lot with these 3 individuals, maybe 4 individuals. They're drinking out of this small clear cup, and they have a no alcohol in public ordinance. And they're going to tell you there that that's exactly what this officer stopped. Reasonable suspicion was consuming alcoholic beverages in public. Audio kick in here a second.
You're gonna get shot, motherfucker! You're gonna get shot! You're gonna get shot! Gun in his hand, gun in his hand. You're gonna get shot! Stop! Back through the alley towards Kelly. Put your fucking hands up!
There's your case number 2. So you had a situation of patrolman in full uniform working his beat, driving his beat. He sees people get out of a car. They've got clear cups. It appears that they could be drinking alcohol. They're not like it's not like a McDonald's drink. It looks like disposable cups that you would use from your home or at a party. So he stops. He's going to make contact. They ignore his initial contact. We can't hear it, but you can see a little reaction from the people, even though they weren't complying, but you could tell that they were being talked to. The male subject there takes off on a run. The audio kicks in with the officer saying, "Hey, you better stop, or I'm gonna put it to you," so to speak. And he even announces over the radio that he's got a gun. He's running with a gun. The officer's testimony in this is that when he got around the corner, that the suspect still had the gun in his hand and was pointing at him, and then turned to try to attempt to, I think, throw it onto the roof. And he was struck 7 bullets fired, 8 struck their mark with the gentleman there on that last part of the video. Speaking of video, are there any portions we'd like to see again? I imagine there are, right?
Yeah, the very beginning when they're pulling up, is there any video of interaction between the officer? Because I thought I saw it where it started like that. We see the very beginning, and then it skips right to the running.
Well, what you're going to do is, right now you're in a patrol car. You see the hood? So you're going to go from in-car camera to body-worn camera. That's the transition. But let me play it for you. It's a short video. We can play the whole thing again. Now you're going to transition to body-worn camera. This is on the officer's body.
You're gonna get shot, motherfucker! You're gonna get shot! You're gonna get shot! Gun in his hand, gun in his hand. You're gonna get shot, stop! Back through the alley towards Kelly. Put your fucking hands up! Put your fucking hands up! Put your fucking hands up!
And you can see I froze it on this was the firearm that was recovered from the subject's near his body. He dropped it. He attempted to throw it onto the roof. Did that video satisfy everyone? We're ready for the clock?
I'm ready for the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
We're on the clock. Same as last time. I'm going to go to New Zealand first. Miss Ward, what was your initial impression on this video?
Well, Joe, I thought that was really interesting. Gosh, I feel as though if you know, somebody said that this guy was trying to throw the gun away, which is a little bit different from perhaps turning around and aiming at the cop. And so on this occasion, I felt that it probably wasn't reasonable just because of, well, one, he was trying to get rid of the weapon, and two, I thought there was some real risk in terms of the number of shots that the cop fired and the other people that were potentially around. I thought that it created some risk. There were cars going past. I mean, if one of those stray bullets had hit somebody else, I mean, that would be a tragedy. So that's probably my view on it.
Well, even though 6 out of 7 hit their mark, you don't think this guy was pretty much on his target?
I mean, good job in that respect, but nonetheless, I don't think the cop was facing imminent danger, to be fair. Like I said, it wasn't as though the guy was running at him with a gun.
Okay. Let's go to Jennifer.
I wanted to see it again because at first it just kind of showed that the officer pulled up, these people are hanging out, like everybody does, and then it turns into a chase. Why is he running? He has a loaded or a gun. We know it's a gun. And I just feel that there was a lot of adrenaline at that moment. The police officer was chasing him down. He was resisting. And I feel that the officer, with all that cardio, he fired because he felt his life was in danger. The man had a gun. And
so you think it's reasonable, a reasonable person?
I do. I think that
would believe that there was a risk to their life.
Yeah, I feel that the circumstances, it seemed to go from chilling and hanging out to a dead run down an alley and everything else. And I just feel like at that moment, whether it's true or not, that officer felt his life was in danger. The man had a very large gun.
Okay. Sounds like Miss Ward's leaning towards a true bill and you're leaning towards a no bill.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Gregory. What do you think, Greg?
So there was like 4 people that I saw, and it was a little hard to tell, but did they scatter and then the officer chased the one guy with the gun?
The one person took off running and he chased the one person that ran. I think everyone just stood still or didn't run.
Oh, okay. So,
by the way, yeah, that's typically the person you chase is the one that runs.
Right. So I feel like the guy, even though he had a gun, he didn't, like, he had plenty of opportunity to shoot at the officer when he was being chased. And it seemed like that guy was really just intent on getting away and getting rid of the gun. I feel like the officer was a little aggressive towards the end there. So I would probably say true bill.
So you think it's unreasonable that this officer said, if this officer said to you that I thought he had a gun in his hand, he was running with it, and he got to the wall, he stopped running, and he turned around. I thought he was going to shoot me. You think that's unreasonable?
He turned around. I couldn't see where the guy was. I thought he was.
Well, and you're not. You're going to have to rely on the testimony, and that's just the way it is sometimes. I mean, they don't shoot body-worn camera in a studio with multiple angles so that you can get everything in there. So sometimes you just don't get it. But I'm telling you, this is what the officer said. Are you saying that what the officer said is unreasonable? In other words, you don't believe it, or you saw evidence in the video that lends to believe that you couldn't trust the officer's statement?
I did not.
Okay, let's go to. Who are we going? Let's go to Amber. That's where we're going.
Okay, aren't we in a conundrum? So I noticed the guy that took off running in the very beginning. He throws his arm up. I don't know if he was flipping the officer off or waving him off and ignoring him when obviously the officer was trying to talk to him. The others looked to the guy whenever he did the gesture to the officer. And then it seems like the officer picked up his speed a little bit, probably to get his attention and to see, okay, this guy is obviously going to have an attitude problem. So if they're in an area where you can't have open alcohol, that's probably something that you can't have. You're brandishing a weapon, or more than likely, the guy doesn't have, anything that states that he can have the weapon or has priors. Something made him take off, and I wouldn't think that it's because he didn't have anything in his pockets and was just holding a clear plastic cup where they would get a slap on the wrist or maybe a ticket. And so when he takes off running, the others just stand there, and he gets ample warning But the thing that saves the officer in this is that the guy had a gun. And in fact, from what I heard earlier, he had been turning around and looking at the officer, and he had the gun in his hand. And it wasn't until the officer, is getting ready to shoot that he then starts to toss it. And as he's trying to toss it on the roof, that's when he gets shot. So it seems as though the officer is going to try to shoot him because the guy keeps turning around to see where the officer is, and the officer's already seen his weapon, and the officer will only have a millisecond to actually react, or he could get shot and killed. And so he couldn't predict the guy was going to toss it on the roof. So, I'm going for no bill.
You believe it to be reasonable. Okay. Chilco, give us your assessment, sir.
I'm getting hung up on reasonable. That's the one thing I'm getting up on. The guy ran and he's chasing him. He has a gun, but he hasn't officially taken a stance, which anybody who's fired a firearm is going to understand that you have to have a good stance to aim, especially a pistol. He was running away and he turned. The one problem I'm having with this being reasonable is that there was a lot of crossfire there, and regardless of how accurate the officer was in this case, I feel like there were a lot more people in danger from him firing his bullets than the other guy.
How many more people were present besides himself and the suspect that you could see?
I'm referring to the vehicles that were driving by.
But he's up against a building. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed this. This guy had been running, and he gets to this point where there's a building in front of him. He doesn't go around it where the sidewalk is. He stops running. The guy you're chasing stops running. He's got a gun in his hand. And besides that, the crossfire wouldn't be something we're asking you to decide. We're asking you to decide, was the officer's force reasonable? Did he have a reasonable fear for his life?
Okay, for his life.
This is the only time, folks, you can use deadly force. Whether you're a citizen or whether you're a police officer, you can only use deadly force to defend your life or defend a third person's. And the standard that we look at is that even if it wasn't true after the fact, a full investigation says, man, you really weren't in danger. Was it reasonable to believe that you believed you were in danger? If that answer is yes, then it has to be a no bill.
The guy has a gun and he stops. I would like to examine that again. I know we're in deliberation now, but I didn't see him turn around. So
you're not going to see it. The camera angle and the body worn cam doesn't show him there. You see once he's shot, but once he's shot, you see where he's at.
Yeah. It's tough in a split-second decision like that to, really know what someone's intentions are when they're turning around, and you seem to know they have a gun.
Once again, my friend, we're not asking you to know the intentions. We're saying, was it reasonable?
Sure. That's what I'm saying. So if the guy had a gun and he stopped, then it could be reasonable that he would defend himself in this manner. The amount of crossfire, could he have taken another position? Maybe. It's hard. I'm not trying to put myself in his place. I'm trying to determine whether that was reasonable, but that has to be, I have to examine that through a lens that I can relate to. So I'm not 100% sure at this point.
Well, I'll come to you last, but you've got about 15 seconds to get comfortable with it. Miss Ward, true bill or no bill?
I'm going to go true bill on this one, Joe, just because the cop just seemed really, really hyped up. He may have believed he was in danger, but I don't think it was reasonable.
Okay. Jennifer, true bill or no bill?
I'm going to go no bill.
We're 1-1. Gregory, have you landed on one side of the fence or the other? True bill or no bill?
Yeah, I'm going to go true bill.
2-1 true bill. Amber, true bill or no bill?
No bill.
We're tied up. Chilco, which way are you going, my friend?
I always support the men in blue, but under this particular case, I'm going to have to go with true bill.
There you go, Bruce Wayne. That's our first true bill of the night. I told you, folks, they don't get easier. The first one's just to get your training wheels off. Let's go to Jason. Jason, what do you think?
no bill all day long. You have to put the reasonable person there is the officer. And again, just listen to commands. He had every opportunity to just stop and do what he's being told. He stops and turns, and that officer's perception at that time, you don't have to point the gun at the officer. Action, reaction. Reaction is going to take a lot longer than the initial action, and it takes a fraction of a second for that gun to come up and point at you and take your life out. There's multiple cases that have done this. If this guy's running with a gun, number one, why are you running? They probably had information or would find out later. My guess is he's not supposed to have a goddamn gun. Why are you running? It was an alcohol stop. Just stop and you turn a misdemeanor into death. Everything that happened here was the guy who ran's problem, not the cop. The cop had a reason to stop with them. The guy decided, nope, kiss my ass. I'm doing my own thing. And you don't have to wait to be shot at. You just need to have the fear of death or great bodily harm. You need to have the fear of death or great bodily harm to the innocent people around you. And 100% all day long, this is a no bill in my mind.
Maddie, do you feel the same?
100%. Excuse me. Just the threat of the public and surrounding people around with a man running with a weapon that's been instructed to stop, chose not to. The officer doesn't have to wait for the weapon to be engaged on him. That threat needs to be removed immediately. No bill, Joe. Thank you.
I see the true bill, and that's what our jury has delivered here. But I weigh in with Jason and Maddie. I think it's completely reasonable. And I think that you can't ignore the fact that the man, he ran from the scene, he ran down the street, he ran up an alley, he ran down another corner, and then he gets to a point where he stops running. Well, he hasn't been compliant to this point. Is this a point that he's going to comply, but yet he's got a gun in his hand? I think that it's reasonable. The crossfire, I don't see that at all. I think that was actually pretty good. He was in a backstop. He was in a corner. The guy couldn't have gone any further left. The only way out of the area that he was in where he was shot would be go from the officer's right perspective and into the street. And that's, I think everything was good there. But this is why we have juries. We don't have to agree. It's 3 out of 5 wins the day. There's still another process. If this officer were to be indicted, there's another process where they're going to inquire into this a lot deeper, and the jurist that will take a look at that case will put a lot more time and effort into it. But that's our second case. Before we get to our next case, folks, I want to introduce you to Range Minded Podcast. This guy is a micro podcaster. He puts together a show every week on 2A topics, gun crafting, and a lot of stuff on just some of the movement we see in the legal field when it comes to our Second Amendment rights here in the United States. And that's the Range Minded Podcast. He's also up for a Gundy this year, Gundy.com, for Micro Podcaster of the Year. He's been nominated. Might throw him a vote, but absolutely support the guy. Give him a follow. That's free. Give him a subscribe. That's free on any platform that has podcast. He's there, but you really want to support him. Buy a patch from his patch or a sticker from his website. Let's take a look.
Have you ever wondered to yourself, man, what time does the store close? Or where's the best cheeseburger near me? Well, I'm not going to answer those questions. That's what your damn phone is for. Use that. Instead, if you have stuff related, to the 2A world, I'm your man. My name's Steve. I run the Range Minded Podcast. On the podcast, we talk about all things Second Amendment, whether it be new guns or gear. Maybe we talk about some training. We'll dig into Washington and the shenanigans they get up to. Sometimes we talk about the Supreme Court and the crap that they're doing. It's always a good time, a little smorgasbord of the 2A, if you don't mind me using that narrative. Either way, you can find us whether on YouTube or Rumble, Range Minded Podcast. I'm also on all sorts of streaming services, wherever you listen to your podcast, Range Minded Podcast. You can jump on the website, rangemindedpodcast.com. Maybe stop by, buy a patch and some other things there. You can link to the social medias and all that other stuff. Hope to see you there. It's always a good time. Anyways, you guys have fun, stay safe, and always stay range-minded. See you guys soon.
That's right, folks. rangemindedpodcast.com. Go buy a patch, send them a message, and let them know you heard about it on the grand jury. Okay. Now, this AWS thing that's going on evidently has impacted this show. I was able to pull videos from one source, but my other source I couldn't, which is where the half the videos are. So we're going to have to do some screen sharing after this third case here. But let's get to this third case, and then we're going to have to change how we do the show just a little bit, just because of where I've got to pull the media from. But here it is, folks. Third case. For real, third case this time, I see.
At about 10:03 p.m. on March 16, 2024, officers are dispatched to multiple 911 calls, reporting an active domestic situation. One caller thinks they may have heard gunshots. Officers arrive within 3 minutes. Officers gain access to the east side stairwell and are met by a person who ushers the officers inside and points upstairs.
Macomb Police, open the door. Huh? Macomb Police, open the door.
Officers announce their presence and order the occupants to open the door.
Huh?
Officers hear screams for help. A distressed female subject could be heard yelling, "He's stabbing me."
Let me see your fucking hands! Let me see your hands!
Officers force entry into the apartment.
Get out!
A Macomb police officer discharged a single bullet. We will stop the video at this point out of respect for the deceased's family members. Following the discharge of the officer's firearm, the threat ended. Officers began rendering aid and called for medical personnel. Both the child and the suspect were pronounced deceased at the scene.
All right, folks, that's your third case. It's a real fast one. This is out of Illinois. Multiple calls for a domestic disturbance in an apartment building. Officers arrive, knock on the door. There's some conversation between the door, but the door doesn't open. And then they hear a woman scream, "Help, he's stabbing me, help, he's stabbing me." They force entry into the apartment. You see where they encounter the subject with a knife in his hand at the end of the hallway. He disappears around the corner. Then he comes back, and the officer shoots. The suspect had reached down and picked up a toddler, put the toddler to his chest. And when he reappeared, the officer shot through the toddler and into him, killing both of them. This is what we saw. Any questions or portion of this video we'd like to see again?
No, I could go the rest of my life without seeing that again.
Okay, with that.
I'm good, thanks, Joe.
All right, let's go to the clock. And you got to steel yourself for these. These are decisions that our citizen panels and juries have to deal with every day. They're tough. But with that, let's go to Idaho first. Chilco, what's your initial assessment of this video? And we're looking at the officer's use of force.
Yeah, that was hard to watch. Despite the outcome, due to the circumstances, I'm gonna say no, Bill, on this. That was just he reacted as fast as he could, and he was thinking in the safety of everybody. Didn't turn out how we wanted it, but I think he did the best thing he could in that case.
Very well. Miss Ward from New Zealand, what's your assessment?
Oh, that was just an absolute tragedy, as my assessment. But obviously, the police officer had to act very quickly. I suspect that he probably gave up his career after that.
For sure gave up some nights. It's going to be hard to sleep for a while. Gregory, what do you think, sir?
Wow, this is a tough one. I feel like he reacted as quickly as he could. Given the close quarters that they were in, I think it was justified. It was just, it turned out very poorly.
Yes, sir. Amber, what do you think?
So it is heartbreaking and sad. But if you go back to when he keeps telling the lady to move, she's panicked and she's saying, my son is back there. And you keep seeing the guy poking back and forth, but you don't see the toddler, and you can hear a toddler in the background. And so when the officer's standing there, it's like he's ready to shoot the guy the next time he pops out, like whack-a-mole. But just that time that he popped out and the officer was ready to shoot, before his eyes could realize that the man was holding the toddler. I mean, because if you listen, the toddler sounded further away, and the man didn't seem to have bent down or had time to grab a toddler. And so I think it took the officer by surprise, and I'm sure the mom had a very difficult time after that, because she would hold herself responsible, and any way that it escalated and how it escalated, she probably lost a lot of night's sleep, just like that officer. And so, I couldn't imagine the nightmares that would come after that. But unless he had superhuman reflexes, I don't see how he could have predicted that that man would have, in that quick of time, grabbed the toddler.
I think Jason said it in an assessment in one of the last videos, that action is always faster than reaction. And his eyes had to process that there was a toddler now there that wasn't there before. And it takes longer to process reaction than it does the action that was already started, I think. But with that, I think I just tainted a jury, but I think everyone's on the same sheet of music on this. I think we're all, do we want to vote it, or is anybody against a no bill?
No, I'm ready to vote.
The silence has it. Let's wait. I tell you what. Let's go ahead and vote. Jennifer, no bill, or true bill or no bill?
No bill.
Gregory, true bill or no bill?
No bill.
Amber, true bill or no bill?
No bill.
Chilco, no bill or true bill?
No bill.
Miss Ward, no bill or true bill?
No bill.
That's a full sweep, unanimous decision on a no bill. Very good, very good. And we've got one more thing before we get to our next case. It's going to take me a second to set this up, but I want to tell you, in case you didn't know, we've had Judge Joe Brown on this show as a special prosecutor, and we're going to have him on again. But when he was on, I had the opportunity, the pleasure of actually doing some coordinating with him, talking to him on the phone. He's one of the coolest, as cool as he is on television. He's just that cool in real life. But we also learned that this guy has a barbecue sauce out. Well, you may think celebrity barbecue sauce, that's this or this or that. But Bruce Wayne, I believe you are a proud owner of a set of this barbecue sauce. You want to give us a breakdown on what it was like?
I was indeed, and still have a little bit of it left, but sure went quick. It is probably, I would say, the best barbecue sauce I've ever had. It's not that ketchup consistency that you get from the stores. A nice coarse ground, just real natural ingredients, nothing artificial in there. And man, the taste is second to none. You can get a pack, the one that I went for, the pack on Amazon. Get the normal barbecue sauce, the spicy, and then a bit of dry rub. All stuff that he made, and it is all fantastic.
What's unique about this is that I don't know that I've ever seen it in a barbecue sauce. The ingredients are very coarsely ground. So you can see them. They've got some body to it. And those of you who don't know, Bruce Wayne, all my night crew folks, we're pretty serious about the food that we grill and smoking of meats and types of barbecue sauces. I'm real impressed with this. But let's take a look at a little quick promo for the Judge Joe Brown barbecue.
Introducing Judge Joe Brown's all-new barbecue sauce and seasoning. Justice in the form of flavor. With one taste of our premium blends of all-natural ingredients, herbs, and spices, you'll fall in love with meat all over again. Judge Joe Brown's all-natural barbecue sauce collection is made up of 2 zesty flavors, original and spicy.
Law firms will take this as a retainer.
What? It must be a law firm where they hungry as hell. Now you gonna help me with this parole I'm dealing with?
Judge Joe Brown is great, folks. We're going to have him back on the show. He's hilarious, and his takes are just straight to the point. Love it. But yeah, try it. You know what? If you're into barbecuing, get you some of this sauce and give it a shot, and let us know how you liked it as well. We'd like to know.
Justice in the form of flavor.
I like where he says some law firms will take this as a retainer. All right, give me a second here, folks. We're going to have to do what's called a screen share here for our next, and I never do this, but I'll figure this out.
Joe, while you're doing that last video, that is the worst scenario you could ever imagine in law. That I feel so bad for that officer to live with that the rest of his life. That was very. I feel for the guy.
I was just thinking the same thing. I can't even imagine how horrible he must feel. It just breaks my heart.
Yeah, that officer, he'll have no more peaceful nights. That I think that'll live with you forever. And my apologies, Jason and Matt. If you guys would like to make a comment on that one, I kind of skipped past that, but we have some time. You could do that now if you want to give your comments on it, Maddie.
Yeah, I mean, there's no comment that would be fitting except, the proverbial awful but lawful.
That is 100% awful but lawful. That does stick here. Folks, while I get this next video spun up, I'm about ready for it, but we have a Patreon group. Join a Patreon group. You can join for free. You can be a $3 member or a $5 member on the support tiers. Our $3 and $5 members get choices at first choice at grand juries, and we have some early release stuff that is available for those folks. But it really does help put this show together. This show doesn't go without expenses. I do FOIA requests. There's some services that I pay for to bring this off, and we do it out of a little bit of love and wanting to push a message without a doubt. But your support does help. Okay, I think I'm ready. Now, folks, this is going to be a stream. It's not going to be as fancy as my edited videos, but we'll get the story. Here is your fourth case.
For 215 of Acker Domestic.
Go ahead.
Gary Place. There's a female saying her son's visiting and is acting erratic. We're trying to gather further.
Baker 206.
206 1125. Baker 250 and 206. The subject's name is Samuel Flanagan. He was also threatening to kill himself. They're saying that he has a machete and charged someone with it. I don't know if they've gotten the machete away from him at this time. Her other grandsons are also there with him. They're 15 and 13. Daniel was born in 07.
Yeah, well, you go ahead and start one more.
Affirmative. Can I get another unit to respond to Gary, please?
226.
226 at 1127. Also be advised, he does still have this machete at this time.
10-4. Baker 250, 1097.
250 at 1130. They're saying that he is still in the house at this time. We can hear him yelling in the background.
250, 10-4.
Units responding to Gary Place. The RP has locked herself in a back room. She's unable to get out of the house at this time.
Recording.
Hello. How you doing, man? Hey, man. Let me see your hands real quick. Are you the one who's got the machete?
Oh, my dad.
Your dad has a machete?
Yeah.
Okay, where's your dad at? What's your dad's name? What's your dad's name? What's your dad's name, man? Who all's in the house? Who all's in the house, man?
I don't gotta talk.
Well, I'm trying to figure out who's got a machete and what's going on.
My dad?
Does he have it in his hand right now?
Yep.
Okay, who else is in the house?
Mama?
Okay. Get the fuck back. Your dad's got a machete in his hand,
Yeah,
Get
he's
the
not
fuck
riding
back.
mine. You get the fuck
Step
back.
it up. Stay out here. Just stay out here. Stay out here.
Fuck up.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on and trying to help you out.
Let
but
me
when
talk.
you get here,
Let me talk. Back
Okay.
the fuck up.
Hey,
Get the
come out
voice
here. Come out here.
Voice out.
get out here.
You cannot go in there.
Get out.
Stop it!
Get out.
You're gonna
Get out.
fucking hurt
Stop
him.
it!
They're not Stop. gonna try and hurt Yes, him.
You.
He
Come here.
is. Please, Let go of you're me. gonna make me Let fall. the fuck Please. go of me.
Grab
Stop.
him.
You're gonna make me fall.
Grab-
Let go of
Grab
me.
him.
Let the fuck go of me. Let me go.
Dad's in the house with
Let
the
the
machete.
fuck go of me. Let the fuck go of me. Let the fuck go. Let the fuck go.
no.
I said let go.
Chill out. Hey, get the fuck back now! Get the fuck back or you're gonna get shot! Get the fuck! Get out! You're gonna get your dad shot. Get the fuck back. Hey, get back inside, we'll talk. Get the fuck back inside and we'll
I
talk.
have plans today.
You take another step, you're gonna get shot.
Let
Don't.
go. Hey, you bitch! Fuck you! Fuck you! Let the fuck
Pull
go!
back, pull
of
back,
me.
pull
Let
back.
the fuck go of me, nigga! Let the fuck go of me! Let the fuck go of me!
Get on the ground.
Fuck you!
Stay right fucking there!
Dad!
Stay right there! Lay down. Lay down.
Dad! I told you.
Stay right
I
there.
didn't do shit. And this is a song.
Stay right there!
Dad.
Don't fucking move!
Dad!
Stay there, we'll help you. We gotta get everybody else chill.
Get the fuck
Eyes on him. Hey, eyes on the door. He's got the knife at the door. Eyes on him. Come here. You stay right there. You! Crawl out. Crawl out here. Crawl out here. Crawl all the way out. Put your hands on your head. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
Put your hands on your head now! Be quiet, Braylon. Let us help.
Behind your back. Behind your back. Behind your back. I can't help you till you let me cuff you up.
Hands behind
Grab
your
that
back,
hand.
sir!
There. Yes. I'll go grab first aid.
I know my fucking right.
Is there anyone else in the house? Breathe. Are you good, man? Let me go clear the house.
Nobody else in here! Broken arrow, please!
We're gonna clear? Yes, I shot him.
Got a knife! Get the hallway!
Yeah. Yeah, we just need to clear the house. Supposedly nobody else in here. Yeah, I know those two kids and I know their grandparents. Is anybody in here? Police department? He had that and that.
Clear!
You go with me? Mike, I'm gonna hold it here if you don't mind. Yep.
Right. Broken arrow, please!
Clear here.
Watch your step, watch your step.
Recording.
Go, man. Let the fuck go, me. Let the fuck go. Let the fuck go. I said let go.
Chill out. Hey, get the fuck back now! Get the fuck back or you're gonna get shot! Get the fuck! Get out! You're gonna get your dad shot. Get the fuck back. Hey, get back inside, we'll talk. Get the fuck back inside and we'll talk.
Recording.
You take another step, you're gonna get shot. Don't.
Hey, you bitch! Fuck you! Fuck you! Let the fuck go! Let the fuck go, me nigga! Let the fuck go!
Okay, I think, remember folks, this is unedited, so I've got to do a little bit of that as we go. Let's drop that down here, I think. Okay, that's your first video. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, disturbance call, man with a machete. And you see what happens when the officers arrive. Are there any portions of this video we'd like to see again?
Joe, it looked to me as though the father had two weapons, one in each hand. Can we see that bit again?
You bet. But you are correct. He did have two. It looks like maybe a meat cleaver in one. I think I'm close. All right, if you look on the right-hand screen, you see a meat cleaver in his left hand and a machete in his right hand. Might be able to advance that a little bit more so you can see the machete a little clearer. Let's see.
You're gonna get shot.
There you go. You should be able to see him there. It's a black bladed, not like a long machete, but probably 12 inches. Any other portion of the video we'd like to see?
Do we have a clear count on how many officers have their weapons drawn at this point?
I don't have a clear count. I know at least two. You've got one of the officers that's wrestling the boy that was not in close contact that we didn't see. You see him there. It's in a blurred vision, but blurred portion there, but you see him bottom right-hand portion of the screen. There is an officer there that is cleared leather. Okay, if there's no more questions, then it's time for the clock. Okay, I'm going to Gregory first on this one. Gregory, what'd you think?
I felt like the argument started to almost go in the right direction, and then he got shot. Like, I actually was surprised when he got shot. I thought maybe they could have tried to talk to him a little bit longer, because he didn't step down that step. If he stepped down, then I could see him getting shot, and that would make maybe a little more sense to me, but he was still kind of just standing there. So I feel like he got shot a little early.
So are you leaning towards a true bill?
Yes.
Okay. Mrs. Ward, what's your initial assessment?
Okay, so I think the cops, both of them, were in imminent danger, and thanks mostly to those kids and the mother that were running around like lunatics. So yeah, the situation was absolutely bedlam. I think the police officers were both at risk, and I think it was reasonable action.
So you're leaning towards a no bill?
I
Okay.
am indeed. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to Amber, so she's going to change all of your opinions. Go ahead, Amber. Tell them what it's about.
Oh, if I could be a psychiatrist or if I could give an IQ test at that house, I think we could talk for hours. But the issue was, I mean, he's brandishing two different weapons. It only takes a second to fling it, and he wasn't far from the officer, or for that matter of fact, from either one of his sons. And it seems like there's a huge testosterone problem going on, which all three of the men seem to love each other but hate each other at the same time. I think I heard one of them blame either the mother or the other brother. This is all your fault anyway. And then to me, it seems like their dad has a stronghold on them no matter how crazy their dad is behaving. So it's, it's a very odd family dynamic going on there, but you just can't be brandishing weapons, telling officers to shoot you while you're causing a domestic disturbance where you could just fling one of those like an axe and really do some damage to someone else, especially when you're told multiple times to put down the weapon. So, I'm going for a no bill, but like we need to do something about the IQ level and figuring out how you deal with people who literally have no idea how to behave in those situations and cause the travesty that they apparently didn't want to happen after they caused it.
Fair enough. Did you guys notice the interior of the house where the sheetrock had been caved in?
Oh yeah.
Battles in there.
It looks like they've gone to town. I don't know if it was just that day or if they've done it multiple times, but and then it seems like the lady, her room would have been the one where there's a medical bed and like a wheelchair. So I don't know, what kind of crazy is going on there, but for her to be in the middle of that, trying to deal with those three males going, and then she's going ballistic. It's just a scene out of, I can't even describe just the insanity that I just witnessed.
Jason and I can explain the whole scenario for you at the end of this, the hospital bed and all. Jennifer, what's your assessment?
Setting aside that this could be a PSA for a mental health crisis in the United States, at first when the officer pulled up, I was kind of taken aback.
I think we lost Jennifer's audio for a second there. You with us, Jennifer? Let's see if we give her a chance to reset. Chilko, I came to you last, give you plenty of time to think about this one, my friend. So what do you think?
Yeah, it's a really tough call here. I kind of agree with Gregory. I was really surprised when that shot was fired. The father didn't quite lunge, knowing a lot about stances. He squared up, but he wasn't making a lunging or aggressive language. He wasn't lunging to him. He didn't have aggressive body language other than he did square up. I don't know if there was any other way that they could have handled this. I didn't feel like that guy was really going to attack the police officers, and they might have been able to talk him down at that point.
Okay, for you Idaho boys, let me throw this in there, just as a devil's advocate. They get a call for domestic disturbance. This is family member on family member, and you've got two emotionally charged teenagers, late teenagers. You've got a mother who doesn't look like she's in great health that's now coming out of the house, and the last person to come from the house is the subject with a machete in one hand and a meat cleaver in the other. You go to start make contact with him, and what does the pink-haired or the pink hat kid do? He comes over, starts going to his father. Well, if you notice, the police officers are very in tune on pulling people away from that house so we're not into a barricaded subject. If everybody that is not an actor is outside of the house and this thing goes to a barricaded subject, no problem. We can wait that out. You've got a hostage, that's a problem. So I think the officers did good on that. They pulled people from the house. He goes to make contact with the guy who comes out of the house with a knife. And what happens? Pink hat jumps in the middle of it. He's right there. So is it not just the officer's life that he has to now be concerned with, or is it every other actor that are within 3 steps from where this guy squared up?
Certainly. And, you know, the young man that was going over to the car, he could have been reaching for a gun. That was my thought. So what bravery that he didn't just hone in on him and you know, neutralize that threat there first, but he was looking for obviously the
and then I get that, but
suspect.
remember, we're on the clock here. Let's keep it down to the force that was used, which was deadly force used on the father, the guy in the yellow shirt with a meat cleaver in one hand and a machete in the other. Do you think that was reasonable?
And that's the crux. He had a meat cleaver and a machete. So yeah, I'm going to side with the officer in this. I mean, he did the best he could under the situation. The guy, if it weren't for the meat cleaver and the knife, we might have a different decision, but I would lean towards no bill.
And he showed restraint. He didn't unload his full clip.
Agreed.
All right, I think we've got Jennifer back. Jennifer, do you want to use your avatar? Or are you going to go camera? I'm good with either one. You're a beautiful lady.
Thank you.
You can thank our producer. He puts you up there before giving you a chance to put that avatar on, but we've outed you now.
Thank you. We're having really bad storms. I mean, I'm in North Texas outside Fort Worth, so to us, thunder and lightning is a bad storm. But I don't know where we were at, but I commend the officer for having restraint. Honestly, he had a situation where he had many people that could attack him at any time. And honestly, I feel like he gave this guy a no-kill shot. It was a FAFO shot. Like, hey, simmer down. You know, I don't know. I'm definitely a no bill.
Very good. Let's go around the room. Let's get us a final count. Gregory, true bill or no bill?
Man, I keep kind of going back and forth, but I'm going to say no bill, actually.
I told you Amber was going to convince you, and she did. Very good. No bill. Jennifer, still a no bill?
No bill.
Amber, no changes, no bill?
No bill.
Chilco, true bill or no bill?
No bill.
Mrs. Ward, true bill or no bill?
That's a no bill from me.
All right, Bruce Wayne, let's drop that clock. And let's post it up there. No bill. We got one true bill for the night. Everything else is a no bill. Before we go on, I want to introduce you to something or a space on X. If you haven't been to it, you need to. And there's also a live stream on Fridays. That's Drax's Pit. Drax is coming up. If you don't know who he is, this guy is a dynamo on X. His spaces are super entertaining, and his live streams are even more so. He's teamed up with Cade Daly and a bunch of other folks that are they really know what they're talking about when it comes to politics. So not only is it informative, it's also entertaining. But Drax's Pit, folks, on Friday night.
As liberals go crazy and throw their fits, come on down to Drax's Pit. Yeah, it's Drax's Pit.
And I'm not kidding. Catch it tomorrow night. Get in there, make some comments, let them know you heard about him on the Grand Jury Show. Okay, our next case, let me get it spun up here. It's going to take me just a second with this weird way I'm having to do it. Actually, maybe if I was smarter, then this might be easier, but you can only work with what you got, right?
Jason, I believe, had to take a phone call, but Maddie, did you want to weigh in on that last case?
Who we not? Oh, you know what? I keep skipping. Jason and Maddie, I forget. I've got this extra step and it's taking my mind away. Jason and Maddie, do you guys want to weigh in on that last case? I know Jason.
Joe, I have no bill at all.
You're supposed to pontificate on it a little more. Give Joe some time to work his magic. What do you say to people who say that they should have waited until he stepped off this step? All right, insightful. Thank you.
All right, folks, I think we're ready. Here is your next case.
At approximately 1:45 p.m., Fresno police officers were dispatched to the area of North Blythe Avenue and Austin Way after receiving a 911 call reporting a domestic violence incident. The caller said her husband, 35-year-old Joseph Maricol, beat her and strangled her unconscious before she escaped with her baby and called 911.
911, say emergency.
Hi, I had a domestic violence issue. My husband was hitting me. He tried to kill me.
The caller provided her location and said her husband was still inside the apartment and might harm himself because he did not want to go back to prison.
You say he's possibly hurting himself?
Yes, he's been in prison before, and he didn't want me to call the police.
What would he be hurting himself with? Do you know?
Probably maybe just a knife to cut himself or something.
Did he say anything about hurting himself?
He just said he's not going back to prison.
It's a little bit of a barricade here.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Try to get that door.
Five David 11.
Hey, Brandon.
Suspect's inside behind the door. I just unlocked it and he relocked it.
For about 90 minutes, officers attempted to communicate with Maricol without success. They then approached the apartment with the intent of taking him into custody. Officers used a ram to breach the front door, but a couch had been placed behind it as a barricade preventing entry. An officer then broke a kitchen window and removed the blinds to eliminate a blind spot and reduce the risk to officers outside. When officers attempted to push the barricaded door open, Maricol was standing on a couch armed with 2 knives. He tried to stab an officer.
Let me know. I'm going to go on to your left side.
Ready when you are.
Ready.
He's got a couch up against it.
He's closing it.
He's got a couch. There's a couch right up against the door.
I'm going to break that window.
Good, yeah.
Joseph?
No, there's a couch. There's literally a couch like a half a foot in from the door. So when you were hitting the door, you were hitting it into the couch and it was coming back. Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna.
You can push it.
Actually, he might be pushing on it. Hey, Joseph, you need to back away from the door. It's Fresno Police Department. Back away from the door.
Can you get a body right here to watch that window, please?
Push it on it. Back away from the door.
The Fresno Police Department, back away now. Dog out, dog out.
Nice.
Officer number 2's body-worn camera shows Maricol attempting to stab an officer as he tried to enter the apartment.
Back away from the door. The Fresno Police Department, back away now. Dog out. Dog out.
Officers backed away from the door, maintained security around the apartment, and requested additional resources, including the crisis negotiations team and SWAT. During communication attempts, Maricol refused commands and said he was not going back to prison. Just before 8:15 p.m., Maricol opened the front door and walked quickly down the stairs holding a knife in each hand. Officers gave multiple commands to stop. As Maricol advanced toward officers positioned near the staircase in the carport area, 2 officers deployed less lethal rounds from launchers, which had no effect. 2 other officers then discharged their rifles at Maricol.
Doors opening. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Stop! Stop!
Suspect down! Suspect down! Whoa!
Stand by! Stand by!
The following is a portion of the previous video.
They're trying to make it too easy for you. There's your case, folks. Disturbed person, domestic violence initiated. Let's get Jennifer back on stage. A domestic violence call initially turned into a barricaded person with a knife. And we saw how officers attempted to breach. That didn't work. They pulled back, and ultimately the person came from the apartment with a knife, and we saw how that ended up. It ended up in deadly force, and it cost that man his life. Any portions of the video we'd like to see again?
No, I'm good.
I'd like to see the last minute of it, right before he comes down the stairs and through that part.
All right, here we go.
Doors opening. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Stop! Stop!
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Stop! Stop!
Doors opening. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Stop! Stop!
Did that help you out?
A little bit. I saw some officers standing to the right of that body cam. There's a lot of guys out there.
Yes, there's some officers out there, and there would be in a situation like this. Some time has passed since the first initial contact. You've got a barricaded person situation that they're dealing with. Any other questions or any other portion of the video that you'd like to see? With that, we're going to put up a clock. All right, 10 minutes for this one. I'm going to Mrs. Ward first.
Well, this is a no-brainer for me, Joe. It was apparent, that this man, Joseph, had no qualms about harming the officers. He'd already tried to attack them with a knife at the door. So, yeah, I think force was absolutely reasonable on this occasion.
Okay. That's the voice from, I'm going to say down under, even though she's in New Zealand, but that's down under for me. I'm in Texas. So I'm going to say down under, Mrs. Ward. Gregory, I know you were talking back and forth about a lot of officers there, maybe one standing to the left or the right, but what's your initial assessment on this?
That's a very disturbed individual, and it looked like kind of just suicide by cop to me. So that would be absolutely justified.
Justified because he wanted to die, or justified because
of him charging at the officers?
His actions.
Yes. There's no way of communicating or trying to get him to cooperate.
I didn't see one officer get on the radio and call one time for a social worker there to talk this guy down. That doesn't bother anyone. Didn't even try.
But didn't they have 90 minutes where they tried to coax him out of the
That's
apartment?
an hour and
in
a
the
half
first
in
place?
America. I don't know how long that is in New Zealand, but an hour and a half is a long time.
I think in a perfect world, sure, but
Let's go to Jennifer. Jennifer, what's your assessment? No
I think
social
that-
worker. They didn't even ask about his childhood. I didn't hear any of that. But what's your assessment?
you know, police officers have a job to do, and that's to protect and serve. And they were doing their job. This guy had a knife. He was coming at them. We have no idea who was standing in those cars. Nosy neighbors come out and want to be involved in things all the time. I just think that to say there should have been a social worker there, the man was an adult when he took a knife and tried to use it against a police officer. I don't think a social worker was really needed at that point. I think that he should have put the knife down and complied.
So you sound like you're leaning on no bill. All right, let's go to. I tell you what. Let's go to. What? I'm going to Amber. Amber, I want you to change everybody's mind. They're missing the fact that they did nothing to de-escalate this. There was no social worker there. They didn't even take in consideration that this was a mental illness issue. Go ahead and square them away.
Okay, can't help you there. So for someone who doesn't want to go back to jail, you should probably not choke your wife and try to kill her, especially when you have a little baby and she's got to escape. And then barricade your door with like little shoe holders and a garden bed that's made cheaply. But really, seriously, he was given 90 minutes, and you really can't call a social worker whenever you're dealing with someone who's brandishing weapons. I mean, a social worker, or what they presume would be helpful, is someone who's homeless on the street, who's like talking to himself on drugs. But even then, they can literally in a split second lose their cool. And that puts the social worker's life in danger. So maybe a good idea in theory, but there should never be a social worker there unless there's an officer right there to handle the situation if it goes awry. And so I don't know how a social worker would have been able to get him out of the apartment or out of the house, because it would have been obvious that he was going to go back to jail because he just tried to kill the mother of his child.
So I'm not sure, but you're leaning towards no bill, right?
No bill, exactly.
All right, Chilco, maybe I was wrong. You square them away. No social worker. How was your childhood? They could have asked that through the door. None of that.
Sure.
Hit them.
Sure. Well, regardless of, his childhood, or whether he was willing to talk to them, or whether there was a social worker that may have even been called at that point and hadn't gotten there yet. At that point, we see a guy running down. I mean, he's already kind of attacked him with a knife. He comes running down the stairs. It looks like he has two knives in his hands. And he's exited now he was barricaded in there for an hour and a half. He's coming down the stairs and he's running out, and who knows where he's running, but it looked like he was running into those officers over to the right there. And so I would say a reasonable person might say that their life was in danger, and that might be justified.
Okay, well, let's take a vote then. Y'all didn't go the way I thought you'd go with it. You weren't as easy manipulated as I thought you might be. Miss Ward, and by the way, Miss Ward, you got some fans. There's a lot of, hey, Miss Ward, yay, Miss Ward. It's on my feed there, too. We love Miss Ward. You're quite the celebrity here in the United States. But
I love those guys. They are to die for. You should be following every single one of them if you're not, anyone who's listening, because they really are my best friends in the world. But hey, Joe, that is another no bill from me, hands down.
solid no bill from Mrs. Ward. Okay, Chilco, True bill or no bill?
No bill.
Amber, AC Truth, or Truth AC, excuse me.
No bill.
No bill. Gregory, where you at on this one?
Absolutely no bill.
That's as firm as I've seen Gregory all night. I'm impressed. Jennifer, true bill or no?
No bill.
All right, Bruce Wayne, let's post that verdict. We're still one true bill, and where we at? 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 no bills. Okay. Hey, folks, we're running a little bit behind on what we normally get. We're at 874 live viewers. You folks out there listening, throw us a repost. Try to get us enough in here. If we're not at 1,000, you're going to really make my volunteers feel bad because I'm here every week. The only thing different this week is them. So it can't be that. Mrs. Ward's got a whole fan club watching. So you guys post it and retweet it out. Let's get us more views in here. We can finish up with 1,000 before the show's over. Jason, any comments on that last video?
Sorry, I was on the phone for a little bit, but I saw the taser, social worker. Yeah, no, neither of those. No. What I saw the ending and just tasers don't work, and I do not want a social worker next to me on that type of call in any fashion whatsoever. It's not the time to sit on a couch and talk about stuff.
Fair enough. Maddie, anything that you'd like to say about that?
No bill. I mean, obviously it's an unfortunate outcome because life was lost, but just so much opportunity was provided to de-escalate and everything like that. So no bill. An excellent grand jury. Holy cow.
Yeah, I'm not going to give them any props till the end of the show, but they're standing up. They're standing up and leaving a respectable decision, I think. Before we go any further, I want to talk about Jason's 3D response system. Jason has developed over the last 10 plus years a school safety system from his experience as being a school resource officer, an undercover narcotics officer, SWAT officer. He's a type of officer Jason's been it over the last 30 years. But he noticed something about working as a school resource officer and being concerned with school shootings. That would, if you were a school resource officer, that would be something that you could deal with any day you go to work. But he come up with a comprehensive 360 system. It has psychologists that are criminal psychologists, type of psychologists look for crazy people that can help a school come up with protocols and how to deal with any threats that may come about before something happens. He has a full response system that's much like a fire suppression system for a school shooter. It prevents the children from being in a location where they can be shot. It fortifies the walls without you seeing it. There are pullouts that you don't know that are there that can be there. The doors are held together with 1,200 pounds of foot-pound pressure so that an assailant can't get to where our children are at once the system's activated. It has a very quick response system. Push a button, it sends a message to the police saying police are needed here. There's no more like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. Oh, I forgot the address. No, it's over here. Where you at? I don't know what's happening. None of that happens with Jason's 3D response system. I'm going to show this short video here. Or if Bruce Wayne, could you kick up the 3D response video? And then we'll let Jason finish off this little segment talking about his system.
Law enforcement is on the way. Law enforcement is on the way. Law enforcement is on the way.
I see you entering, take a right. You're going to proceed down the long hall, all the way to the end. You're going to go till the end where you're intersect to the classrooms. Keep going, I see you moving forward. Subject is held up in classroom 203.
Law enforcement is on the way. Law enforcement is on the way.
Jason, do you want to explain what that little video is about and what maybe people are seeing in there? Maybe clear it up for them. Tell them what they are actually seeing in the video.
You're seeing about 9 different layers that you can't see that are installed. And the whole thing is, it's a more tactical approach to staying alive. In military folks in your audience and any law enforcement, the thing that kept us alive and keeps us alive to this day is cover, concealment, and communication. And we provide cover, concealment, and communication to the stakeholders, which aren't the parents, it's not the administrators, it's the children, the teachers, and the responding officers. So essentially, we enhance the school to tackle, much like the fire code did, an active shooter, to minimize the loss of life and give the stakeholders the tools. Rather than looking at some sort of technology thing, we're actually giving sticks and stones to these kids and teachers and cops. Like, this will keep you alive. And that's what our system is. Right now, there's a bill in Minnesota called the SHIELD Act. It's got both sides, in my state of all places. It's got support like I've never seen before this year after the Annunciation shooting. I'm meeting with a senator from North Carolina next week to hopefully adopt the bill in North Carolina to make it a building code, much like the fire code, where we just haven't defined what school safety is. We need to define it. And hopefully legislatures are starting to come around, but school to school across this nation, you're going to come across 10,000 different definitions of what school safety is. And unfortunately, for 25 years, it's all been wrong.
It's a great system, folks, and there is a movement starting in Minnesota with the SHIELD Act. It essentially is a building code, just like a fire code. I'm going to finish this up real quick. We made the fire code mandatory in 1959. We haven't lost a child in a school fire since because it addresses the issue. It suppresses it, lets somebody know that it's going, and it separates the children from it. And that's what 3D Response does. And that's what the SHIELD Act would require every school to have, a system like 3D Response in it in order to respond to this horrible thing that any reasonable person in their mind can't even imagine it, but respond to this horrible act. But with that, let's get to our last video. This is going to be it for the night, folks. Santa Clara, California, 911 call reporting a stabbing inside of a home.
Santa Clara, now what's that emergency?
Hi. One of my housemates is attacking another of them.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You said your husband's attacking someone?
Housemates.
Okay. What's the address?
What you know? No. This is not good. You guys have it playing with me. You think that's good? Please help me. That's good. Please help me.
Hello?
Please help me. Please help me.
Sir?
Please help me. What are you talking about?
Okay. Where are they still struggling in the hallway?
No, he's gotten up. What are you doing?
Where's
Okay.
Where's Nizam?
He's got another knife.
He's got the knife now?
He's got another knife. He's getting. Jesus Christ.
Please open the door. Open the door. Please! Get your hands up! Hands up! Who is it? Bottom or top? Put the knife down! Okay, sure. Put the knife down! Get back, everybody get back.
Should I go in?
706 shots fired.
Should I go in?
Out here, out here, out here. Get out, everybody get out. Out front. Move, move. Move. Can you walk?
I'm trying. I've been stabbed.
Get away from the knife. Sir, try to walk your way out there, please. Is there anybody else in the house?
No, sir. No, sir.
Everybody get outside. Subject's at gunpoint. I've got one stabbed. Where you stabbed? Where you stabbed, sir?
I'm trying.
Our main victim's going to be in a gray robe. I'm trying to get him to go outside. Incoming unit, just come in the house. Help this guy get out, please.
I'm sorry.
Try to walk out for me, okay?
All right, once again, I apologize for the lack of editing on this, but there's your case. You heard the 911 call, you heard the response, and it is unfortunate that we're not going to have enough time to deliberate on this. Folks, we do an after-party X space on X. Come on in. We'll have our jurors in there. They have first choice to be a speaker in this space, and we'll get our verdict on that one. But we can discuss it a little bit here, but we just can't give we won't have time to do a full verdict on it. In fact, why don't we do that? Let's go around the room with our jurors, and you guys give me your first impression on this. And I'm going to start with you, Jennifer. No, I'm not. You know what? I haven't started with Amber all night. I'm starting with Amber. I'm going to put you on the hot seat. Your opinion first.
Well, I thought the name Muhammad's supposed to be peace be upon us, but that was not peaceful whatsoever.
He was upon them.
Right, exactly. So my goodness, he had to be shot. He had already stabbed him multiple times, and who knows what else he was going to do. There was no peace upon that Muhammad. I can tell you that.
It appeared that way. Chilco, your assessment.
Yeah, he was on him. He'd already stabbed him. I believe he said, drop the knife, and the guy said, hold on or something. And I think he neutralized the threat as fast as he could, given the circumstances. Good job, No Bill.
You ain't got nothing to say about the backdrop? The guy was standing into the hallway? You got nothing to say about that? You're going to have to come to the space. I know you're not a big X guy, but you're going to have to come to the space, get Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I mean,
talk to you about.
Yeah, you certainly have to be aware of the surroundings and the area behind your target. There was some crossfire there. Maybe that guy should have moved. I don't know.
Very good. Mrs. Ward, what do you think?
This has been another easy one, Joe. I mean, if the officer hadn't shot him, that the other guy may well have been murdered. So, yeah, that's an absolute no bill for me.
Gregory, what do you think, sir?
I think he's a hero. He busted down the door and then put shots on target and got everyone out of there by himself, too.
Total disregard for that guy standing in the hallway. You're ignoring that. But let's go to Jennifer.
I'm sure the officer could have talked to the guy about his mother and his relationship and all that.
Didn't even try. You're right, Jennifer. I didn't pick up. He didn't even try to talk to him about
He could have
that.
been like, hey, how was your day today? But instead, he decided to save somebody's life. So bravo.
Very good. Folks, we are out of time. Join our Patreon group. Join us on X. Give me about 20 minutes, stretch my legs, get my fresh drink, and I'll start the space. I'll shoot you guys. If you folks on the jury, I'll put it in our jury DM group, the invite to it. Anybody that's out there listening, if you want a direct invite, DM myself, Bruce Wayne, or anyone on the panel, and they'll get you to our space. We have a lot of fun in the after party space. We cut it up, and there's almost no rules there. We don't ask for a true bill. We just want your opinion. But special thanks to our jurors, and not just this Friday night, but every Friday night for you folks that decide to spend a Friday night with us. It's very much appreciated. I hope you had a good time. We had a good time. And if you know anybody else that's interested, I do this. I need 5 new people each week. So it's always, we've always got room. If you can't do it this Friday, I got a Friday that you can. Thanks, folks. Good night. We'll see you in the after party.
An incarcerated individual's use of institutional telephones constitutes consent, and your calls may be provided to law enforcement agencies. Thank you for using Securus.